Okay, so week 6 is actually farther away than I thought it was. I thought there was a Thursday night game tomorrow. That is getting pushed back to next Monday, so literally 6 days from now. um, so there is no Thursday night game. I am still going to keep a schedule and keep this up on Wednesday. Normally it's to get up a day before the actual, Thursday night games. But with no Thursday night, there's 4 days till football or something like that. It'd be 5 days because I just said 6 before for Monday. So yeah, so we're 5 days away from football because everything is either Sunday or Monday this week because COVID screwed everything up. Originally, it was supposed to be Kansas City and Buffalo. That, like I said, has now been moved to Monday night, which is, I think it's like not midday, but it's like mid-afternoon, basically. I think it's like 4 o'clock here my time. Or maybe it's 4 on the West Coast. I don't know. It's early. That's the point. Because it's Kansas City and Buffalo, and then it's Arizona and Dallas for the late game after that. So there's nothing tomorrow. We did just have our second ever Tuesday night football. I could not record it because I had class bright and early this morning and had to be there bright and early. So I knew I needed some sleep, so I could not record or stream that game last night. Even though I kind of wanted to, because again, that makes history. It's the second game in I think it was 2006 was the first one, so it's been a while since we had a Tuesday night game. But enough rambling. So we'll get into this. So the first Sunday game we'll go over is Houston and Tennessee. This should just be Houston should just steamroll. The way they did to Buffalo last night. It's last night at the time recording this. You might be seeing this like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But it's a Tuesday night game where they just steamrolled Buffalo. This should be the same thing. They are going to be without. It's going to be an interim head coach now for Houston, so maybe something changes. We'll see. But I'm picking Tennessee. It should be Tennessee. Again, it should be a steamroll here. Next, Cincinnati heads to Indy. Joe Burrow is not going to get his second win. He might not get it for a while. We'll see what happens, but Cincinnati's just not that good. So Indy should win this one pretty handily. I know there's some sites that rank Indy as the number one defense right now. So that's going to be a lot of trouble for Joe Burrow on offense. Next, Atlanta heads to Minnesota. I'm sticking with the home team here and going with Minnesota because I don't know what to expect now that Dan Quinn is gone. I don't know what to expect with the interim head coach and all that. Was it the GM also got fired too, I believe. So they're cleaning house in Atlanta finally. Next is the Jets, not the Giants, the Jets. Giants can come later down the line. But if the Jets fire Adam Gase, that'll be a good thing. They just let go of Le'Veon Bell yesterday mid-game, which was kind of surprising. But it was mid-game for not their mid-game. It was mid-game for the Tuesday night game. They played Sunday or whatever. So hopefully they're next. Hopefully he's gone within the next couple weeks here. Next, Denver heads to New England. I had to do some research into this because I didn't know if Cam Newton was going to play. It looks like he's going to play, so I'm going to go with New England. If Cam Newton does not play, this is Denver's game. New England is just trash without Cam Newton right now. They absolutely suck. So Cam Newton's their only saving grace. So if he does not play this Sunday, my pick is going to be Denver. But if he does play, my pick is going to be New England. I know that's kind of, weird that I'm picking, a team if one player isn't, doing it or whatever. So I will say my official pick is, New England. But again, if Cam Newton doesn't play, New England's trash. So, but it looks like Cam Newton's going to play. So I'm basing it off of that. So that is my technically official pick for that game. Next, this is going to be, a battle for probably last place in the NFC least. Washington heads to the Giants. Um, Something tells me this is going to somehow be a good game. Because it's two trash teams, so this might somehow be a good game, high scoring game. We'll see what happens. But I do have Alex Smith and the Washington Redskins pulling off the win here in I don't know what their stadium is called. Whatever, in the Giants Stadium, because I don't remember what it's called at all. Is it MetLife? I believe it's MetLife. It's probably wrong, but I believe it is. Next, Baltimore heads to Philly. This is just going to be a wash. Baltimore's probably going to put up 40 on Philly, because Philly is just absolute trash. They're not that good. Next, I'm highlighting this as my game of the week. I was tempted to put Green Bay and Tampa Bay as game of the week. It technically is, because it's on Fox at 3:25 my time, so that's the game of the week spot. But I'm going with this as my game of the week. I have touched on this in the past weeks for picks. So if you do not know, I guess I'll mention it here, because this is really the first time I am doing a game of the week. So basically, yellow is my normal pick. Blue would be it's a dark blue. It would be an upset pick, and then green I consider my game of the week. That is how I label them. That is how I pick them. If I think. Let's so San Francisco and Rams. Let's say I thought somehow the San Francisco is going to upset. I would have highlighted San Francisco blue, but I don't think that. But anyway, this should be a good game. On paper, this is going to be a good game. Both teams are stacked. Not San Francisco. Steelers are undefeated. Browns are 4-1 for the first time since the 90s, I want to say. I believe it's been that long since they've been 4-1. So this is going to be a really interesting game. This is the first game where Myles Garrett is back against the Steelers. Obviously, Mason Rudolph is not playing, but I'm interested to see, if they patch things up after the game or whatever. I hope there's cameras on them after the game. We'll see what happens if they do or they don't. But I'm going to go Cleveland here. It's not, I don't want to call it an upset, but they're not favored to win, basically. So I'm picking Cleveland here. I think if Chubb comes back, I don't know how long Chubb is supposed to be out, but if Chubb comes back and you have Hunt in the backfield too, I mean and then you have Johnson, who has been surprising. He's either a rookie or a second year. So you have a three-headed running monster in that backfield. Obviously Baker still has his weapons. He still has the OBJ. He still has Landry. I can't remember the other wide receivers' names. He still has really two good, really good wide receivers on there. So yes, Steelers are probably top 3 defensively, but in a rival game, expect the unexpected, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm expecting Cleveland to pull off the win here in Pittsburgh. Next, Chicago heads to Carolina. I saw something that said that Carolina was favored. Someone had Carolina favored over Chicago, which I think is really dumb. Chicago is 4-1, and Carolina is 2-2, I believe. So this should be Chicago's game to win. Carolina, it just isn't that good. CMC is back. Christian McCaffrey is back, I believe, this week. So that's, I'd hope Carolina, but I just don't think it'll be enough to stop the Bears. I think the Bears, are pretty good. They get the respect that the Packers got last year, which is, none. Everyone was calling us, 13-3 frauds and whatnot last year. Well, now Bears are 4-1 this year, and people are calling them frauds. I don't fully believe in them. They did take down Tampa, but Tampa, I think they're 2-. Are they 3-2? I don't know. They're 2-3 or 3-2 or something. I don't know. But I don't know how good Tampa is. They're probably gonna make the playoffs, but they haven't really faced anyone besides Tampa. But Carolina should just be easy enough. It might be a little bit of a struggle, but I think it'll be easy enough for the Bears to pull off the win here. Next, Detroit heads to Jacksonville. I've been a big Minshew supporter, and he looked hot those first 2 weeks. He looked really hot against the Colts and someone else. The Titans, because he threw 19 of 20. That's right. He only had one incompletion. And then Jags fell apart. So I'm going Detroit in Jacksonville. I don't want to, again, because I'm a Minshew supporter. I really like watching Minshew. I like his play style and whatnot. I just like, the person in general, who he is too. But they don't have a defense. He's got DJ Chark on offense, and I don't know if he's undrafted or if he's a late round wide receiver rookie, but they got a pretty good stud in him coming up. But that defense is just not that good. So I'm going Detroit here for the win. Matthew Stafford experience should be enough to pull them away and with the win here against Jacksonville. Next, the Jets head to Miami without Le'Veon Bell now. I mean, they're tanking. They really are. They're going to get rid of Darnold, go for Trevor. They're going to ruin Trevor and go on to the next one. Miami upset San Francisco last week. San Francisco got Jimmy Garoppolo and I think like Raheem Mostert and someone else back. And Jimmy looked terrible. I think it was 7 for 17 before he got benched. He threw 2 interceptions, I believe. So Miami looked like pretty good, even though they aren't that good. And San Francisco just fell apart. they really just fell apart after that Super Bowl loss. So I'm going Miami here. I don't know if I said that before, but I am going Miami here to just score 30 on the Jets, and the Jets are only going to score like 16. It'll be like 30-16 for the final score or something like that. Next, Green Bay heads to Tampa. Tampa is obviously where the Super Bowl is held this year. Is it 54 or 55? I don't remember. Last Super Bowl feels like a millennium ago. Anyway, I'm picking Green Bay here. We are getting Adams back. We're getting Kenny Clark back. EQ has come back from injuries. We have, I think it's like a really good rookie for middle linebacker or inside middle linebacker or something like that that's coming back. So we're getting healthy. Obviously, we don't have our number 2 wide receiver, which is Allen Lazard. He is probably going to be out till the playoffs, honestly. So we'll get him back, either late, like week 16, week 17, or, playoffs, early playoffs, depending on, if we're playing wild card or if we're not playing wild card and, we get the number 1 seed. We'll see what happens. But I think, Adams is going to be hungry. I think Kenny Clark is going to be hungry to get back out there. Rodgers is rolling. They have a pretty good run-stopping defense. They just lost Vita Vea for the season, and he was, a big run-stopper on that defense. So now he is out, so that sucks for him. I actually kind of liked watching him play. He's actually, a pretty good, a pretty fun player to watch, honestly. I've seen some of his film and whatnot. And then Godwin is questionable. I think he practiced today. Again, today is Wednesday, so, there's still, a lot of time. We still have 5 days until the game. So, but I believe Godwin is questionable. I believe Fournette is returning. And then I'm guessing Mike Evans will be healthy. Hopefully he'll be healthy. It sucks seeing, so many people getting injured and, so many seasons ending. So, I hope people can come back from injuries. Obviously, someone like Dak is going to be out for the rest of the season. Like I said, Vita Vea is going to be out for the rest of the season. But there are, some people that hopefully can come back soon, like Lazard, even though it's not going to be, again, till either late season or probably playoffs. So that's going to be, December, January for him, maybe. We'll see what happens. But kind of rambled on there. But Green Bay over Tampa Bay, in Tampa Bay. I'm ready. This is going to be a fun game. Can't wait to stream it. So I'm ready for that. Then, this is Sunday night. The Rams head to San Francisco. Again, who got beat by Miami pretty handily. I believe it what was it like 42-17 or something like that. They got their butts handed to them against Miami. So I think this is, obviously Rams are 100 times better than the Miami Dolphins. So this should be a steamroll over San Francisco. San Francisco is going to probably end up in that last spot in the NFC West. Yeah, I still think it's probably the hardest division, even though the Cardinals are falling apart too. You could argue the NFC North again because 3 teams are 4-1. But I just think, San Francisco's probably not even going to make the playoffs. I just don't see it happening now. The way they're playing right now, they're not going to make the playoffs. I don't know if Cardinals will either. So we might not see 3 teams from the NFC West in the playoffs. It might just be the Rams and the Seahawks. And obviously the Packers and the Seahawks are still fighting for that number 1 seed. First team to probably lose is probably going to end up, slipping down to that second seed there, and probably is going to end up having to play wildcard weekend. So we'll see what happens. Obviously Seattle has a bye this week, so this is like a must-win for Green Bay. I'm I'm rambling again. My pick is the Rams. This is what happens. I'm just, I'm thinking about the playoffs, thinking too far ahead. Just got to think about right now, week 6. There might not even be a playoffs with COVID running rampant. We'll see. Next, Kansas City heads to Buffalo. Again, this was supposed to be tomorrow's game or Thursday's game. Got pushed back to Monday because Buffalo just played literally yesterday. So, a 2-day turnaround would not be good for them to go from losing to Tennessee 2 days later, probably going to lose to Kansas City. My pick is Kansas City. This should be a pretty interesting game. I might record this. This is going to be mid-afternoon about. It's like 3 or 4 o'clock my time here. So I might hop on, record this game because it's really early, honestly. So that might be a fun game to watch. And then the late game on Monday, Arizona heads to Dallas. Obviously, Dallas lost Dak. I feel so bad for that. I did make a video talking about Alex Smith in that video too. So now Andy Dalton is taking over. I'm picking Arizona here just strictly because I don't know how well this Cowboys team is going to do without Dak. Dak, again, he had 500 yards to lose against Cleveland. Try to bring him back pretty much every week. And now that you don't have a guy that tries to bring you back, how bad is that going to affect your team? I don't know. So I am going Arizona just strictly because of all the unknowns with Dallas right now. But Arizona isn't playing that good either. So we'll see what happens. But that's this week's picks. I almost lost it there for a second. I almost said playoffs. I don't know why. But that's the week 6 picks. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Like the video, share the video around, don't forget to subscribe, and we are out of here. Peace.